you can go in and treat yourself. You can literally walk in, you go in, there's a big chart on the wall, tells you what to do for whatever ailment you've got. Because they don't cure you, these machines, they fire up the healing process. That's all they do. That's what Tesla worked out, is that when you damage yourself, the healing process, because of our immune systems are so weak, because of the crap we eat and the water we drink and the amount of stress, because that's really what it is, disease, not disease, it's dis-ease. We're stressed and that creates disease in us. He worked out that when you're like that, if you can fire up, for argument's sake, you hurt your arm, then your arm won't heal as quick as it could because your immune system's deficient. It's running at about probably 5 or 6%. That's all that our immune systems run at. They'll say that that's 100%. That's absolute bollocks. That's crap. Our immune systems are about 5 or 6% of what. If you could run at 80%, you'd never get ill. There's not a disease on this planet could touch you. You don't realise how powerful we are. No one realises how powerful we are. We're phenomenally powerful. The spark that's in us is unmeasurable in current, in voltage. It's unmeasurable, and our bodies rely on that spark. It's like a battery pack inside a robot. You take it out, it goes inanimate. We're exactly the same. You take the spark out, we become inanimate. This vessel, this thing that we walk around in, this robotic body, if you want, but obviously it's not robotic. As soon as you take the life force out, it's done for, and it can't come back to life. And that's what I love about these stories that I've been told all my life about human beings coming back to life after 3 days. Yeah, right, whatever. you want to go with that crap, then go with it. But my son saw through that at 6 years old. He told his mum that the teacher was lying. Because he said human beings can't do that, Mum. They can't die and come back to life. When they're dead, they're dead.
That's the Son of God.
But this is this 6-year-old sees through this crap so easily. But there's so many people who are bought and sold.
What about if it's just a metaphor?
But it's not a metaphor, is it? A metaphor for what?
For the strength of the human spirit, or for the fact that there is no death?
No, because
in a way,
so you're clutching at straws and that's really scraping the bottom of the barrel. When you've got to do that, there's a serious problem in what you're saying. Definitely. No, I equate it. I've looked at a lot of the stories and I've tried to figure out. I've actually looked at it and gone, well, you can walk on water. That is possible. That is absolutely 100% possible. At least 3 places on the planet you can walk on water.
Oh, right.
At least. Because of the amount of salt in the water, you can walk on it. Then flotation tanks and sensory deception, they deprive your senses. You float on salt. It's only saline in the water that keeps you buoyant. And I'm sure they use Epsom salts for that as well, which is really good because you're soaking in all that magnesium. That's one of the things we're missing desperately is magnesium. And it does cost a fortune, Epsom salts, even if you buy it from, I get it from garden centres, which is a reasonable way of doing it. But no, so I looked at the church in a big way, and I did it. And then suddenly I looked at the church and went, right, okay, MPs, ministers, and a Prime Minister, that go to work every day in a building that looks surprisingly like a cathedral. And the House of Lords has 26 Lord Archbishops in it. And it was like, hold on a minute, they're sees. Cathedrals, that's a city. A city is a town incorporated under its own name that has a seat of a bishop. That's a see. That's a Roman see. That's how they see everything that's going on. Their law, make sure the law's wrote in Rome, without a doubt, and then it's passed over it. Nothing to do with the EU. The EU is a complete farce. It's just a group of businesses that set up in 1944. And Churchill tried to put through the United States of Europe in 1949 and failed miserably. So the EU is no threat whatsoever. That'll just collapse. Yeah, it'll just disappear in its own right. It's only a group of businesses in the first place. That's all it was.
John, can I ask you, go forward a little bit into 2012. What's your opinion of 2012?
We've got 14 years to get there yet.
Yeah, you have this theory about time, didn't you?
Yeah, we haven't. Never written the millennium, ever. That's the biggest lie out there, without a doubt.
So there's some
because the clock changes. Not the clock, the calendars. The 2 calendars changes. It basically put us 12 years ahead of ourselves.
So we've got 12 years now to...
Well, they changed the calendar twice. The Julian and Gregorian calendars. It changed. They changed the whole structure of how the calendar works. Well, what it does in effect, it gave us a day and a half for a day.
Yeah.
So that forced us forward in years compared to in relation to what we should be in. So basically, and
But compared to what though? What's the measurement here?
well, the measurement would be if they'd kept the calendars as there was, we'd be in 1998.
But compared to what?
Well,
What's the
2012
Well, compared to
is the prediction,
2010.
isn't it?
We're in two-
but
Why is it all
what's
arbitrary?
that-
What's the yardstick by how you
Yeah,
define
but
a day or how you define
What's
a
it
year?
comparing? Yeah, what's the measurement it's compared to?
I mean,
the
it
day?
doesn't
I
take
don't know
exactly
what the
365
calendar was at the time. So the calendar, how the calendar was structured at the time, they basically speeded up the days.
Yeah.
So we'd accumulate more days
sure,
in the same
yeah,
period of
It's
time.
arbitrary. In India, we have different calendars. We're in some million-year
You are
cycle.
absolutely, and
So you know, it's
there's
different.
there's
Totally
countries in the world. There's one that's in 1736 or something.
different. Yeah.
Some,
I can't remember what country, but you actually go there and it is 1736 in their country.
So
isn't it?
we've
Yeah.
got, did you say we've got 14 years before we're going to
No,
actually
2.
reach the...
I reckon 2 years now before we reach.
A lot of people with the 2012 say it's because of the galactic alignment. Is that what you're saying?
Mayan calendar.
But how can you see it through? How can you possibly see that alignment through the Van Allen belt?
You can't. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
I want to
Thank
make
you
sure
very
that you
much.
weren't making that claim because it's.
You
it's
can't see
rubbish.
nothing through the Van Allen belt. You're not going to see no alignment. You
Yeah,
can't
there
even
is
get
no
out of
alignment.
it.
There is no alignment. But
You
yeah.
can't get out. There's no way of getting off of it.
So John, the Van Allen belt, is that what stops us from going to the moon then?
Absolutely, 100%. Because you'd
So-
need a suit of lead 9 feet thick just to go through it.
So how can they say that we've been to the moon?
Well, they haven't. Do you know what happened on the very day of the moon landings? Do you know what happened? That's phenomenal. Was it Harold Wilson? They wanted to bring in the EU. This was really part of real powerful businesses working. This just shows you how powerful corporations can be. They wanted to bring it in, but there was Magna Carta 1297 stood in their way because of the way it was wrote, and they knew if they brought in they brought this in, the advocates who they have to keep the advocates full that everything's being done legally. They knew that the advocates would pick it up, the barristers and the solicitors, the law merchants would pick it up, and there would be a massive fuss about it because they once they knew. It's like secrets. It's like that's what a secretary is, keeper of a secret. That's why the government has so many secretaries keeping secrets. Well, it's a secret keeper. A secret's entrusted to a secretary. Well, the process is you've got these up the top here, and you've got all the underlings here, and you've got us. But these here don't know half about what's going on, so you have to keep them full. And the only way they can fool them is keeping everything legal. So that's why when they go to war, they have to make sure it's legal before they go. Otherwise, this lot kick up a fuss and say, hold on a minute, it's not legal. And you're telling us you do everything legally. So they have to do it. So to bring in the EU, Magna Carta 97 stood in the way. Because it says quite explicitly in there, you can only have one weight, you can only have one measure, you can only have one currency. That's what it says. So we could never change. We couldn't even go decimal. It's not possible because Magna Carta stood in the way. Well, they needed to change this. So on the very day of the moon landings in 1969, they put through what was called the Constitutional Reform Repeals Act. And there was about 3 MPs in the House of Commons. And what this did is, this eradicated most of Magna Carta, but left 3 crucial parts in place, 1, 9 and 29. And this was on the very day they landed on the moon. The very day.
They supposedly landed on the moon.
Well, supposedly, yeah. But see,
Yeah.
the thing is, but in the very same year, just after that, they started to mint new 10 pence coins. But we didn't go decimal till what, 72?
1970 it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We went, was it
I think it was 71.
71? So 2 years before, they were already minting the coins. And I got one. I picked it up, I went down to one of the change machines, and I saw it laying on the side. I picked 1969, minting new pence coins. That don't make any sense.
Coins, yeah.
Don't
My dad's got one because I was born then.
It don't make any sense.
It's really weird.
But they already see this is out. It's already geared up in advance. It's all orchestrated. There's nothing's by chance.
And you said there were 3 MPs that voted that in.
Yeah, I can't remember.